For those of you who have been watching my channel for a while now, you know that the city of Shreveport, Louisiana is a hotspot for rail operations. With a total of 8 subdivisions converging in the city, 5 of which being CPKC, and the other 3 under the control of Union Pacific, the odds of something moving are pretty good. In today's video, we're going to be highlighting some of that rail action in Shreveport, along with some of its surrounding areas. Keep in mind, I won't be showing all of the lines throughout this specific video, but we do have a good bit of rail action in store for you. I hope you'll sit back and join me for today's production, Trains of the Shreveport Area. Let's start in the small town of Mooringsport, Louisiana, located northwest of the city of Shreveport in Caddo Parish. Located on the CPKC Shreveport Terminal, Mooringsport hosts a very familiar photo angle for fans of the fallen flag, Kansas City Southern. While it is no longer a wooden trestle, the rail bridge that spans over Caddo Lake has been documented very well over the years. The bridge is right by the Caddo Lake boat ramp, where you can almost always find fishermen in the surrounding water. Here we see C-868, a Union Pacific haulage-right coal train utilizing the CPKC to make its way southward to Shreveport. While both the historic drawbridge and rail bridge is enough to make this town interesting, a few months back something arrived here that just adds to it. KCS caboose number 348 now resides in town. A local contractor purchased the 348 and has plans to restore this caboose along with several others to make a campground on the shorelines of the lake. This is one of the iconic KCS cabooses that sported the stainless steel paint. It'll be great to see this thing fully restored in the near future. If you drive to the south, you'll eventually wind up along CPKC's massive Shreveport yard. Nicknamed Doremus for the man responsible for the construction of the yard in the 1950s, this yard is truly the heart of the former Kansas City Southern. Today, Doremus is still vital for operations under the CPKC flag. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, 5 subdivisions originate from this yard, going north, south, east, and west. Our cameras are set up on the north end of the yard, where remote-controlled motor KCS number 610 is bringing a new cut of freight out of the mouth of the yard to begin classifying. 610 is an EMD SD40-3 locomotive. This locomotive was rebuilt right here in Shreveport. The flared radiators on the rear of the locomotive indicates its original specifications. 610 was built as a SD45 for the Chicago and Northwestern. The CNW would sell the motor to the KCS in the 1980s, and following that, the 610 would be folded into the combined roster of CPKC. 610 currently has its work cut out for it with this cut. The heavy load makes for great audio as the engine is screaming as it slowly passes by. Of course, yard jobs aren't the only thing you'll find moving around Duramus. Road trains such as this M269 are a common sight. This train is arriving into its final destination at the south end of the yard. KCS 4198 and 5013 have led this train up from the CSX interchange down in New Orleans. Back at the north end of the yard, daily northbound manifest M263 has gotten a signal indication to depart the yard and make way for Kansas City, Missouri. 2 Southern Belles and a Canadian Beaver are in the lead. We managed to leapfrog ahead of the northbound and set up in the next town of Blanchard. The train has just crested the hill and is currently passing what the railroad calls Texas Junction. This is where trains will diverge west if they are bound for the intermodal facilities of Wiley, Texas. While our train won't be heading to the Dallas area, it will be crossing over from Main 2 to Main 1. The double main line isn't too long in length, as it ends here in Blanchard. Let's take a look at some of the Union Pacific action. Overlooking the smaller but still useful riverfront yard, UP LRE 21H is busy switching. This train is a local that mainly transfers freight throughout Union Pacific's 3 yards in the city. While normally I find standard road power on this local, such as the UP SD70 in the lead, today was interesting with the UP 1724 in the consist. This is an EMD SD40N rebuild locomotive, but what piqued our interest was its protruding snoot nose. While I'm not a huge expert on what's rare on the UP roster, I was informed that this is considered a treat for many rail fans of the Great Big Rollin' Railroad. While locals often keep the same set of power assigned to them over extended periods of time, you never truly know what you're going to see. Here's the same local a week prior right up the road at Jordan Street. While missing the 1724, a heavily weathered R.J. Corman GP16 is being towed to Reeser Yard. No idea where this old warhorse was bound for. At the former site of Shreveport's impressive Union Station, which is now known as Wilson's Alley, MPB-DI is making its way to the DFW metro area. Leading is UP 9650, a C44-9W. While still common to see on roads such as Norfolk Southern, it's not every day you see one of these leading something on the UP, let alone in the new revamped paint scheme. In my experience, a sure way to identify the MPB-DI is the cuts of autorack cars on the tail end of the train. Shortly after clearing Wilson's Alley, it was CPKC's turn to send something through. Nothing too impressive though, as LL49 is racing through with nothing but light power. The trio of Jeeps is heading for Doremus Yard to make a pickup to bring back to the Bossier City Yard on the opposite side of the Red River. Rest assured, we will be seeing more of this local later on in the video with some freight. Quite a ways south of the city in Atkins, we find M268 of the CPKC making its way south on the Alexandria subdivision. This is one of 2 daily road trains for the route between Shreveport and New Orleans. Now that I've gotten a better idea of when these 2 trains arrive in and depart Shreveport, I hope to have a future video documenting the entire line. We're going to wrap this video up east of Shreveport in Bossier City. Here's local LL49 once again, but this time making its way into the city with a full consist of freight from several customers alongside the Vicksburg subdivision. The two trailing Jeeps with flared radiators are both some of the KCS Eco rebuilds. I hope you enjoyed this taste of the rail traffic in the Shreveport area. Like I said in the intro, this isn't close to all of it, but hopefully you've gained some insight on just how busy the area can be. Please leave a like down below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And until the next time, my friends, I'll be seeing you somewhere out there along the rails. And as always, thanks for watching.